Tribunal admits EU report as exhibit on presidential poll. Festus Keyamo reacts after court admits EU report on presidential election as evidence. EU report, history will never forgive them. RUFAI OSENI knocks Keyamo, Fani Kayode. With this, we welcome you all to Imoko BTV, the hottest TV of the moment. We bring you latest updates happening in and around the country. If this is your first time viewing our TV channel, do well to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell to keep you updated whenever we drop our videos. Be sure to like, comment, and of course, share the video with your friends and your family members to get them updated too. Okay, we move forward to doing what we know how to do best. Tribunal admits EU report as exhibit on presidential poll. Tribunal admits EU report as exhibit on presidential poll. The news in detail. The Presidential Election Petition Court in Abuja on Monday admitted in evidence the final report of the European Union Observer Mission on the February 25th presidential election. The EU report was tendered at the tribunal by the People's Democratic Party and its candidate Atiku Abubakar, who are challenging the outcome of the poll in which President Bola Tinubu of the All Progressives Congress was declared winner by the Independent National Electoral Commission. In its final report presented last week, the EU had declared the election was below expectations. The chief observer of the EU Election Observation Mission, Barry Andrews, at a press briefing said the election exposed enduring systemic weaknesses and therefore signaled a need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. The EU also said the conduct of the election diminished public trust in INEC. But the presidency on Sunday, in a statement by the President's Special Advisor on Special Duties Communication and Strategy, Dele Alake, accused the EU of bias and an intention to impeach the integrity of the 2023 elections, which it described as the best organized general elections in Nigeria since 1999. Alake said, "We strongly reject in its entirety any notion and idea from any organization, group, and individual remotely suggesting that the 2023 election was fraudulent." However, at the tribunal on Monday, Atiku, through his lawyer Chris Uche, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria, tendered the EU report while cross-examining an INEC witness, Lawrence Bayode. INEC, which was joined as a defendant in Atiku's petition, opened its defense on Monday to prove that the presidential election was credible. While being cross-examined by Uche, the INEC witness admitted that the INEC had yet to upload all the results of the presidential election until the IREV as of March 1st, 2023, when Tinubu was declared winner of the poll. According to the witness, only 31% of the presidential election result was uploaded onto INEC's result viewing portal. He admitted that there was a technical glitch that affected the uploading of the presidential election result, which was not reported to Amazon Web Services by the Commission. Under cross-examination by Tinubu's lawyer, Chief Wole Olanipekun, who is also a son, the INEC witness stated that images captured on bimodal voters accreditation system, whether transmitted electronically or manually, does not affect the integrity of the election, especially when the results are announced to the hearing and knowledge of party agents. He affirmed that the outcome of the February 25th presidential election is free, fair, transparent, and in substantial compliance with the provisions of the law. Okay, so the tribunal has finally accepted the EU's report as an evidence, and now Uche Chris, who is President Bola Tinubu, is brought. Said that the election was free, fair, and you know the funny part of it, INEC has finally opened up. They said that the result uploaded. Can you imagine that? It was only 31% of the presidential election results that was uploaded in INEC viewing portal. And then what did they do? They declared Bola Ahmed Tinubu winner of the presidential election, while only 31% of the results was uploaded. I mean, how is this? Can't you see that there is something about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's tenure? There is something about it. That is to say that there is something they are not telling us. All right, my people, that is it. And something is fishy about this whole thing, but we don't know what it is. But all we know is that EU and Tribunal has finally agreed that that the election, the just conducted election, was not transparent enough. It wasn't transparent enough for wow, and that is it. All right, okay, my people, we move forward to the next headline on our screen, but we want to have you drop your comment on this, because it says that the election was not free, it was not fair, and it was not transparent, while the INEC said that the election was free and it was also fair and while transparent. He also said that that is the best election that has been conducted over the years since 1999. And now we don't know who to believe. We don't know whether to believe Tribunal, EU, and Atiku's lawyer, or to believe INEC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who strongly believe that the election was done free and fair. All right, my people, I would like to have your comment under the comment section. Please do quickly. And then we move to the second one here on our screen. Festus Keyamo reacts after court admits EU report on presidential election as evidence. Festus Keyamo reacts after court admits EU report on presidential election as evidence. Finally, upon the admitting upon the court, the tribunal admitting EU's report as evidence, Festus Keyamo stood immediately to stand. Okay, let us just go and see what he said then. The news in detail. Mr. Festus Keyamo, a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, and a former minister of the country, has taken to his official Twitter platform to react to the European Union report on the 2023 presidential election, which was presented by the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar. In his post, the former minister wrote that funny thing is, the mentalities of many Africans have been so skewed to see any kind of report or data with the imprimatur of any organization or body from Europe or America, especially as regards Africa or any African country, as an unquestionable report or data from God. His comments on the matter came hours after the Vanguard newspaper reported that despite the objections from the ruling APC, as well as the lawyers representing the Nigerian president at the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal in Abuja, the tribunal went ahead to admit the report as evidence against the Electoral Commission as well as the Nigerian president Bola Ahmed Tinubu. However, in Keyamo's opinion, many Africans often see reports from America and Europe in Africa as unquestionable and probably from God and infallible, and in his opinion, such assumptions are wrong. Wow. This is what Keyamo is saying. Keyamo's take on this is that Nigeria, we see the whites, we see the Europeans, we see the whites as superiors, and then we see ourselves as inferiors. And I don't know. Naturally, I think that is how it is. You see people that will say I can't watch Nigerian movie. They will say there are film tricks in Nigerian movie. Then I wonder what happens to film tricks. What happens to the film tricks in America? It is someone who made a charm to protect himself from a gun. That you see people tagging him winch. You see people attacking him as evil. Then what of the person who produced the gun that was meant to murder? This is Nigeria, my country. Alright, Festus Keyamo is saying that in Nigeria is where we accept every information from the white as valid. We accept them as unquestionable results. We see them as results that can never be questioned. We see them as infallible. Yes, and then as if they are our God. So that is his own here. All right. This is coming immediately after Vanguard newspaper reported that despite the objections from the ruling APC as well as the lawyers representing the Nigerian president at the Tribunal election petition tribunal in Abuja. Alright, that is it. I don't think we are moving further, but the fact is Festus Keyamo is driving to the point that Nigerian, but we are too in love with what the white man has to say to us other than what we have to say to ourselves. All he means is that in Nigeria we see ourselves as inferior and then the white men as superior. Now the question is that the fact? Is that true? Like what he's saying here, is it really making sense or not? You know, they say out of every nonsense there is a sense, and I'm agreeing to this because I think in Nigeria, truly, you see, let's use the aspect of the Nollywood industry, because it's in Nigeria that you see a guy saying, I cannot watch Nollywood because it's not real. I cannot watch Nollywood because there are a lot of film tricks. Then what of the American, the Hollywood and Bollywood you're watching? Aren't there film tricks in those movies too? Wow, that is also in Nigeria, just like as I stated before. It is only in Nigeria you see a black man who produced a gun to protect himself as evil, and then the person the person who initiated, who produced the gun, who manufactured the gun as a guru, as a scientist. Wow. All right, my people, I would love to know your comments on this. We move to the last on our screen quickly. This is EU report. History will never forgive them. RUFAI OSENI knocks Keyamo Fani Kayode. EU report. History will never forgive them. RUFAI OSENI knocks Keyamo Fani Kayode. Alright, we move to the news detail. Nigerian journalist RUFAI OSENI has alleged why President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other All Progressive Congress APC chieftains rejected the European Union report on the 2023 election. Nigerian News records that on June 27, 2023, the EU EOM presented its report on the 2023 election to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. In its final report on the elections, the EU chief observer Barry Andrews said that its trust in INEC had been severely damaged, mainly due to the failure to upload the result of the presidential election electronically. The EU noted that the election exposed enduring systemic weaknesses and signaled the need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. But in a statement on Sunday by the presidential spokesman Dele Alake, the presidency dismissed the report by the EU, describing it as poorly done desk job that relied more on rumors, gossip, and cocktails of prejudice, and uninformed social media commentaries. However, in a post via his Twitter page, RUFAI claimed that Tinubu and other APC chieftains reject the EU report because of how they consistently absconded from debates to avoid responding to questions on their policy. He also slammed former Minister of State for Labour and Employment Festus Keyamo and former Aviation Minister Femi Fani Kayode for their roles in peddling fake news in the wake of the electionary period. He wrote, they rejected the EU report because the EU reminded them how they absconded from debate, and when we ask questions on policy, they start attacking. Didn't they abscond from debate? Isn't it shameful that former minister and senior advocate of Nigeria were misinformation chiefs? Even DSS had to invite one. Oh, we will never forget the real kings of electoral misinformation are noted, and history will never forgive them. Wow, 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 wow. RUFAI OSENI don't talks about history will never forgive these persons that they are misinformation chief. That is to say, that EU said, it says that the reason why Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his people has to reject the EU's report was because the EU reminded them how they absconded from the debate. Hey, jeez, wow. All right, my people, I think these news are well explained. No need of going further to analyze because it's as if I'm reading, it's as if I'm still analyzing because everything here is falling in place. What RUFAI OSENI means is that Keyamo and Fanny Kayode that they should be very shameful. Yes, they should be. They should feel pitiful. Let me use that word. That DSS had to invite one of them over. That they should feel very shameful. They should feel shameful that every one of them who is involved in this, who is involved in hiding the truth and bringing and bringing lies for the public to accept, that it should be very shameful of them that they can't answer on the policy of the country. All right, my people, I think I no go to go far before I bite my mouth. Make we call them a day here. Do not forget the wisdom of a man. Not too good though until everybody comes together, because the talk say good head. Good head is better than a head. Two good heads are better than one. Two good heads are better than one. So when you drop your opinion, when you drop your comments, when you drop your take on this video, then we can be able to understand very well what this news is talking about. Alright, do not forget you are listening to Imokobi TV, the hottest TV of the moment, where we bring news to you and as well do the analyzing for you. Do the analysis for you. Alright, do not forget, if you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so that you can be getting updates whenever we drop our videos. Be sure to like, be sure to share this video to your friends and your family members so they too can get involved in what we are doing. Do not forget the headlines again. Tribunal admit EU report as exhibit on presidential poll. This simply means that Tribunal finally has accepted the EU report as an evidence against the presidential poll. And then the second one, Festus Keyamo reacting after court admits EU report on presidential election as evidence. This is Festus Keyamo reacting. According to him, Africans, they see the Europeans, they see the white as gods. They see the report of the white as unquestionable report. And then finally on the last EU report, history will never forgive them. RUFAI OSENI, Keyamo, Fanny and Kayode. Here, RUFAI OSENI is saying history will never forgive people like Keyamo, people like Fanny, Kayode, and all others that would not speak the truth. Imoko loves you. Stay safe. We thank you so much for standing with us. See you in our next video.